This is the ChemiNamer app from Moleman Learning. The purpose of the app is to give you the appropriate background information that you need in order to name chemical compounds of various types. It provides you with the background information both in written form and in video form. It provides you with practice questions with feedback that's generated as you do the practice, and then a quiz that will give you a group of questions of whatever type you select, and after you submit it, it will give you different focus areas that you need to work on, including statistics for all the different types of questions that were asked. So the first is the background. With the background, there's a bunch of different types of chemical compounds that I will teach you how to name, but first you need to learn about bond types. The bond types will determine what type of compound rules or naming rules that you'll use. Each of these background sections provide a written description, some written information. It provides you with examples that when you expand them, it'll give you a walkthrough of how to answer that question. There's also practice for each of the different types. Each of the different types of ionic compounds, a mixed ionic, which is these three together, acids, molecular, and mixed down here, which is all of these together. The way that this works is that you're going to name the compound that's listed in the question. So in this case, we have AlBr3. I'm just going to name it aluminum bromine and click on check answer. It tells me that I'm not right, that I need to try again. And the feedback tells me that the anion is incorrect. It should be the root name of the element. I did use the element name, but I did not use the root name and then have the suffix be "-ide". So I'm going to fix this according to what the feedback says. And then I'll check my answer again. It says it's correct. So when I click next now, it'll bring me to the next question. If you're doing these and you're unsure of what you're supposed to be doing, you've already gone through the background, but you're not sure, you might need a refresher, then you can click on this Go to Background Information button, and it'll bring you to the appropriate background that you need. There's also a quiz section, and it covers the same things that are included in the practice section. And each of these quizzes has different combinations of questions that will help evaluate or assess you on all the different types of questions that could be asked of you for whatever naming scheme that is you're testing on, you're quizzing on. So if I do a couple of these, so Ag is silver, Cr is chromium. Now, I know that chromium is a transition metal that needs Roman numerals, so I'll put in some Roman numerals. In this case, I'm going to put in incorrect Roman numerals. I know that it should be 6, but here I put in 4 accidentally, just to show you what will happen with statistics. This is gold. It should have Roman numerals because it's a transition metal. However, I'm not going to include them so that I can see what kind of errors I'm going to get. I'm going to leave this one blank. This one I'm going to do and I know that chromate has a -2 charge, and I could look at this polyatomic ion table so that I could find the Cr2O4 as chromate with a -2 charge, so that I would know that this needs to be 6. This I'm going to do tin, and instead of using Roman numerals, I'm going to put numbers in. And then I'm going to skip the rest of these for right now and go down to the check answer. So when I click on the check answer, it's going to evaluate all of these. So there's a bunch that I didn't name, but if I go back up, I can see which ones I had correct. I can see the different types of errors that I had with each individual question. And then the thing that I really like is that sometimes with all these questions that you're doing, it's a little overwhelming of what you should work on. So if you go back down here, there's a focus areas button. The focus area button gives you different types of feedback. So it tells you general feedback on, in this case, Roman numerals, but it could be with polyatomic ions if you name them incorrectly. It could be on main group ions, commonly swapped ions. There's a lot of different type of feedback that it can provide. Down here in statistics, it tells you the overall number of questions that you had correct. So in this case, 2 out of 20, and you left 15 blank. Main group ions, there was 3 of them. I got 1 of them right and left 2 blank. Here, transition metal ions, I got none correct and I left 4 of them blank. And so it gives me statistics of what I actually did, what I skipped, and how many of each type of compound you got correct.